Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today I am here to discuss the modern challenges to LGBTQ marriage rights. As we all know, marriage is a fundamental human right that should be available to all individuals regardless of their sexual identity or gender identity. However, even in the 21st century, we continue to see discrimination against same-sex couples who wish to marry. In this speech, I will highlight some of the challenges facing the LGBTQ community in regards to marriage rights and discuss possible solutions. Firstly, it's important to acknowledge the progress that's been made in recent years regarding the LGBTQ marriage rights. The U.S. Supreme Court's decision in the case of Oberfeld versus Hodges in 2015 legalized same-sex marriage across the country. This landmark decision was a significant victory for the LGBTQ community, but was also one step on a long journey towards full equality. Unfortunately, there are still many challenges facing same-sex couples who wish to marry. One of the most significant challenges is opposition from religious organizations. Many religions view marriage as a sacred institution that should be between a man and a woman. This has led to a great deal of resistance from religious organizations towards same-sex marriage. While religious beliefs should be respected, they should not be used as an excuse to discriminate against the LGBTQ community. It is important to remember that marriage is a legal institution, not just a religious one. By denying same-sex couples the right to marry, we're essentially saying that their love and commitment is not valid or worthy of legal recognition. The opposition from religious organizations has resulted in political activism to counter these views. Gay right activists have been calling for legal protection to defend their right to marry. Religious organizations are also invited to speak out and be a part of the dialogue in order to create solutions for the problem. Religious leaders are encouraged to discuss and interpret their scriptures with a broader and more inclusive perspective. In addition to opposition from religious organizations, there are also issues with healthcare and insurance. Same-sex couples often face barriers when it comes to accessing healthcare and insurance benefits. This is because insurance policies are tied to employment and marriage sometimes, and if same-sex couples are unable to get married or being discriminated in employment, they're able to access these benefits. This can be especially problematic for couples who have children or are dealing with health issues. One potential solution to these challenges is to continue to push for legal protections. This means advocating for anti-discriminatory laws that protect LGBTQ individuals in the workplace and other areas of their life as well. It also means continuing to fight for marriage equality at the state and federal level. Another potential solution is to work to change hearts and minds. While laws and policies are important, they will not change the underlying attitudes and beliefs that lead to discrimination. We need to continue to have conversations with our friends, family members, and community leaders about the importance of equality and the harm discrimination causes. Education is also key. Many people are simply unaware of the challenges facing the LGBTQ community. By educating the public about issues that same-sex couple faces, we can help to build empathy and understanding. This can help break down barriers and reduce discrimination. Unfortunately, despite the progress that has been made, there are still areas where anti-discriminatory laws, or discriminatory laws, and attitudes persist. One current example is the wave of anti-trans bills that have been introduced in several states in the US. These bills aim to restrict the rights of transgender individuals, but particularly transgendered youth, in areas such as healthcare, education, and sports. For example, in Arkansas, a law was passed in 2021, which is only 2 years ago, that prohibits transgendered youth from receiving gender affirming medical treatment, even with parental consent. This law has been criticized by medical professionals who argue that it goes against established medical standards that could harm the health and well-being of transgendered youth. In several states, including Texas and Florida, bills have been introduced that would prevent transgender individuals from participating in sports teams that align with their gender identity. These bills have been widely criticized as discriminatory and unnecessary, as there is no evidence that suggests that allowing transgender athletes to compete would harm cisgender athletes. These trans laws are just one example of the many ongoing discrimination that LGBTQ individuals and the community faces. It's important to continue to advocate for legal protections and to work to change attitudes and beliefs in order to create a more inclusive and equitable society for all. It's important for LGBTQ individuals and allies to continue to speak out and share their stories. When people hear firsthand about the challenges that LGBTQ individuals face in regards to marriage, can help build support for change. It's important to remember that change is not slow, but it is possible. By continuing to advocate for LGBTQ rights, we can create a more just and equitable society. In conclusion, we have made progress in recent years to LGBTQ marriage rights. There are still, but nevertheless, there are still more challenges that we face or the LGBTQ community faces. Those organizations, healthcare, employment, insurance barriers, and other factors all contribute to some of these challenges. However, we can work towards solutions by advocating for legal protections, changing hearts and minds, educating the public, and speaking out about our experiences. It is important to remember that change is often slow, but still it is possible. By continuing to advocate for LGBTQ rights, we can create a more just and equitable society, as I said many times in this speech, for all. Thank you.